Dragon Ball Apprentice Angel Chapter 41-60. Chapter 41 _ Let the universe be at peace. An apple that can never be eaten, is there? Roger asked, holding back his laughter. No strawberries this season. Who are you fooling, Angel? This is cosmic space, how can there be a season? You can't say that you'll never finish it. Ruosi's face darkened, and then her eyes lit up. Yes, why don't I send you apples or strawberries from a planet? Too many, it's easy to break. Roger shook his head. I'll keep it fresh for you. Ruosi said. Forget it, you still make a wish for me. Let the universe be at peace, so that the entire universe will no longer be destroyed in war. Roger said. Ross. How is this possible? No war. No damage. Non-existent. God of destruction no longer working. If the God of destruction does not destroy planets, when the number of planets reaches a certain number, the universe will lose its balance, and it will destroy itself without waiting for the king of all to be wiped out. Don't you have any other wishes? Ruosi was restless. Why don't you be my wife? In the future, I will have whatever I want, and I will save so much trouble. Roger suggested. Ross. The entire seventh universe seemed to be quiet. I'm sincere. The first time I saw you, I was attracted by your beautiful appearance. Roger looked at Ruosi seriously. In fact, what Roger really meant was that he wanted to say that this silly angel has only appearance and no connotation. Cough cough. Let's talk about the strawberries that can never be eaten. I will find a way. When I find it, I will come to you. After Ruosi said this, she turned into a colorful streamer and quickly ran away. Hey, wait a minute, Roger yelled. Rose has disappeared. Roger wanted to tell her that she was going the other way. Roger shook his head with a smile. It was quite interesting to meet such a silly angel. Now that Roger has come out of the spaceship, he simply returned to Earth and started a food tour. Not to mention, eating delicious food can also consume the power of angels and increase the realm of true gods. No wonder Weiss is a foodie. Angels are truly a magical species. An hour later. Rose appears at the Galactic Patrol headquarters. Ruosi, welcome and welcome. Myers hurriedly came out to greet him. I heard that you were training in the sixth universe, are you okay with my sister? Sister Vados takes good care of me. Ruosi nodded. Where's Brother Weiss? Did he take special care of you? Brother Weiss, to be honest, I haven't seen Brother Weiss since I came to Universe 7. Myers laughed. It's not human, I'll find him for you. Ruosi snorted. No need. Brother Weiss should be very busy. Myers didn't care. Besides, the angel's experience is his own business. Some things are said too much, or they have special care, which is not good. Really, no wonder my angelic power has only consumed 1,000 points after so many years. Ruosi pondered. It has consumed 1,000 points in 10 years, which is very impressive. Myers praised, I have more than 500 points left after so many years, and my conversion rate is too low. 25, so pitiful, I heard that Roger's real god realm is 180. Quote. HMPH, Roger, don't mention him to me. I'm really pissed off. Ruosi shouted angrily. What happened? Myers asked. I heard that he planted a planet in the new universe. Ruosi said angrily. Plants are planted in the new universe. Myers was stunned. Yes, he consumed a bit of true god domain and gave birth to a planet. Myers, are you angry? Ruosi pouted. Ha ha ha, what am I doing? Myers laughed. What's the big deal? Besides, the two of us may not be able to surpass Roger and the others in the realm of true gods. This newly opened universe should be no match for us. Originally, this new universe was prepared for me by my father. Ruosi clenched her pink fist. Oh, the great priest prepared it for Ruosi. Myers was stunned for a moment. My father specially prepared a new universe to celebrate my birthday, which is for me to take over after training. Ruosi said angrily. As a result, Roger said there was an inside story, and my father was not good at cheating, so he had to use the real god domain to decide. the owner of the new universe. My father has already planned, and after 8 years, he will secretly seek the dragon of God and make a wish to raise my real God field to the highest level. Quote. Myers stopped talking. The Grand Priest is so kind to you. I am my own son, why am I not treated like this? But, Roger has planted a planet in the new universe. Unless he voluntarily eliminates it, or the universe has his imprint, I will be unhappy when I take over it in the future. Ruosi said with puffed cheeks. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 42 _ The Milky Way, gone. Myers smiled wryly, not knowing what to say. Also, look at my skin color. Ruosi became more and more angry. Skin color. Is there a problem? Myers said, our angels can change their skin color at will, even changing their appearance is no problem. Among the angels, it seems that only me and Roger are yellow-skinned, and you are all blue-skinned. Ruosi clenched her fists. It's not a big problem, I still have purple skin. Myers smiled with a look of indifference. I heard that Roger's angelic power was so powerful that it changed my skin, right? Ruosi looked at Myers and asked. Can't you? I'm 2 years younger than him. If I want to change my skin color, I'm the one who changes my skin color. Myers shook his head. No, you have already formed. When I became a fruit, I was changed by his angelic power. At the same time, it also led me to have so many angelic powers. And there are. If I have 10,000 angels I won't say anything about Zeely. The problem is that I only have 9,999, which is 1 point less than him. Blame him. Blame him. I'm mad at me. The more Ruosi said, the more angry she pouted. I also just found out recently, otherwise I would have come to him to settle accounts. Haha, it's only 1 o'clock. Myers smiled. Brother Melz, you don't understand, every 9 beacons, don't look at it as only 1 point, but it's a world of difference. Ruosi corrected her with a stare, it's like the realm of true gods. Brother Myers, do you think 99 and 100 can be compared? Can't. Not only can't, but it's far from it. So, you're not looking for me this time. Are you looking for Roger? Myers was tired and stopped worrying about this issue, and he could be considered to understand Ruosi's purpose. Yes, I heard that he is on Earth in the Milky Way. Ruosi nodded. Yes, it's very close to here, you can fly over in a few seconds. Myers nodded. Okay, I'll go find him now. I'll ask him in person. Ruosi said angrily. Angel, you shouldn't be angry. Myers advised. Who said I'm angry? I'm going to bite him. Ruosi stared. Myers. By the way, Brother Myers, can you get strawberries that can never be eaten? When Ruosi Lin set off, she suddenly thought of something and asked. A strawberry that can't be eaten forever. It's not easy to handle. Although we are angels, there is no such strawberry in the entire universe. I heard that there was a strawberry in the previous 18th universe, but unfortunately the ecology of that universe was out of balance, and it has been not anymore. Myers shook his head. What about the apples that can never be eaten? Asked Ruosi again. The 18th universe also produces these weird things. Unfortunately, the universe disappeared. Myers continued to shake his head and asked, what do you want this for? Are you still short of strawberries and apples? Oh, that's not it. Ruosi replied, you can't find this place. I flew in the 7th universe for more than 3 hours. Later, I met a person on the road and pointed me in the direction, and I didn't know what to do. It's hard to find this place. Why didn't you contact me? Myers asked with a wry smile. Father was worried that it would be difficult for me to control my angelic power, so he sealed my scepter. Ruosi smiled bitterly. You mean, this person pointed you in the direction, and then you found me here? Myers understood. So, in order to repay him, you gave him strawberries that he could never finish. He asked me to make a wish. Ruosi nodded. Strawberries that can never be eaten. This is a bit difficult. You silly sister, why do you agree to a human wish so easily? Myers was a little distressed. By the way, that person also said that the first time he saw me, he was attracted by my beautiful appearance. When Ruosi said this, her face flushed. This is the first time anyone has confessed to her. Cough cough. He was trying to say, you have no connotation. Myers laughed dryly. What did you say? Rose stared at Myers. I didn't say anything, Myers quickly denied. By the way, I'll borrow your scepter. You can help me find strawberries and apples that I can never finish. I found them and gave them to this person. Ruosi said, holding the scepter that Myers handed over. The power of an angel emerged, to show Myers what Roger looked like. However, just when Ruosi's angelic power emerged. Suddenly, the entire base of the Galaxy Patrol turned into the dust of the universe. Myers' pupils shrank, and his face became extremely ugly. You, what did you do? Myers was suspended in the air, looking at the Galaxy Patrol who had completely disappeared. His face was stiff. Immediately afterwards, Myers looked around and his face became even more ugly. It's not just the Galactic Patrol. You give the entire galaxy to. Myers stared. My angelic power is not well controlled. Wow, I didn't mean to. Woo. Ruosi also knew that she was in trouble, so she burst into tears at that time. Well, I know you didn't mean it. I'll go back in time to recover. Myers didn't know what to say. Find someone and you can destroy a galaxy. This angel is no longer there. The flames bloomed on the scepter, the power of angels emerged, and the time reversal skills were displayed. Oops, my true god realm is too low. I can't do time back. Myers' face was sweating, but there was nothing he could do. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 43_Weiss. I have a silly sister, rewards and updates for perfect world. What should I do? I try to use the power of an angel, can I restore the Milky Way? Ruosi asked eagerly. Sister, the power of angels is used to consume and destroy. Do you still want to destroy the entire universe? Myers reprimanded, then his eyes lit up. By the way, Roger should be able to. His true god domain stronger. Quote. No need, let me come. At this moment, the two suddenly heard an unfamiliar voice. In an instant, time and space were distorted. In the blink of an eye, the galaxy that disappeared came back all at once. The Galaxy Patrol headquarters has returned to its previous appearance. Brother Weiss. Are you Brother Weiss? Ruosi recognized it. What a problem, child. Weiss covered his forehead, not knowing what to say. If Ruosi came to the galaxy in the 7th universe, Weiss naturally knew it. However, what Weiss did not expect was that Ruosi actually destroyed the Milky Way. In desperation, Weiss had to rush over and use his own hands to reverse the time and restore the Milky Way. I finally know why my father sealed your scepter. Weiss sighed. Brother Weiss, you're here just in time, I'm looking for Roger. You take me there, I don't have a scepter, it's very troublesome to find. Ruosi looked at Weiss and said quickly. What if I found Roger? Weiss asked back. I want him to eliminate that dark planet in the new universe. Ruosi said. What if he won't? Weiss asked. Then I'll bite him. Ruosi gritted her teeth. Violence can't solve the problem. Weiss wiped his sweat and shook his head. Then tell me, what should I do? Ruosi glanced at Weiss and felt that this brother was not good at all, not as good as Sister Vados. I would have known to bring Sister Vados. Weiss wiped off his sweat again, obviously seeing it. There was silence for a moment. Forget it, I'll take you to find him. Don't talk when the time comes. I have a way to make him willingly eliminate the planet in the new universe, and let him have nothing to say. Weiss made up his mind and smiled mysteriously. Smiled. Really? Great, Ruosi shouted excitedly. Remember, don't get angry, even if you encounter an angry thing, you must have a normal heart. This is the nature of our angels. Weiss explained to Ruosi. Well, I remember. Ruosi nodded solemnly. Myers, you come too. Weiss greeted. You are my brother, You come to my universe to experience. I haven't taken care of you yet. I hope that through Roger's incident, you will understand no matter what, so that you can consume all the power of angels as soon as possible. Quote. Yes, Brother Weiss. Myers nodded excitedly. Go. The three of Weiss turned into three colorful streamers and went straight to the direction of the Earth. Roger happened to be on Earth at this time. Just now, Ruo-C destroyed the Milky Way, and the Earth where Roger was located naturally ceased to exist. At this moment, Roger was also a little confused. Roger is tasting food. As a result, in the blink of an eye, he ran into the universe. Roger was startled. But Roger quickly calmed himself down and watched what was going on through the angel's scepter. Roger was really speechless. It turned out to be this silly angel who made it. Roger was going to use time to go back in time, but before he could use it, he found that time and space had been distorted. Roger guessed that there was an angel who was already using time to turn back the clock, but he didn't have to trouble himself. Roger knew that there was no other angel in the seventh universe except himself and Weiss who could turn back time. Myers is enough, and the realm of true gods is not enough. In just a split second, Roger was back at the restaurant. The entire Earth, and even the entire galaxy, seems to have never disappeared, no different from before. Huh, Wes is here, Myers is here too, and Ruo-C. What are the three of them looking for me for? Roger quickly sensed that the breath of the three of Wes was moving towards him rapidly. Come. Roger sat quietly in the restaurant, enjoying the food. Shish. When no one was there, the three suddenly appeared across from Roger. Huh, you're not. After seeing Roger, Ruo-C widened her beautiful eyes and said to Wes and Myers, Brother Weiss, Brother Myers, he is the one who helped me. By the way, Brother Weiss, help me find strawberries that I can never finish, and I'm grateful to him for finding them. Weiss covered his face, not wanting to speak. Myers wiped his sweat. This stupid girl. What's the matter? Is there something wrong? Ruo-C was stunned. Rose, who are we looking for? Myers asked. Roger. What's the matter? Ruo-C said with certainty. Brother Weiss, did you bring me to thank this man first, and then go to Roger? P.S. Your reward is so powerful. I suddenly remembered that the book has not been signed yet. The signing contract is still on the way. Now, in this extraordinary period, I don't know when it will be in the hands of the editor. The addition of more will be delayed, but you can still do 6 chapters per day during the free period. I will add more rewards later on. Carry your own pot. Rewards and more, there are still 2 last days. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 44-Roger, I bite you. Haven't you met Roger? Myers asked. I have seen his divine fruit. I haven't seen it since I was an adult. Ruo-C shook her head. Maybe I have seen it, but I don't remember it. Come on, sit down, sit down. Roger held back his laughter and greeted quickly. Weiss had to cover his face and sit down. Weiss really didn't want to admit that Ruo-C was his sister. How can you be so stupid? Could it be that the moment when the fruit came to fruition, Roger's angelic power shook his brain? Myers also felt tired, so he just sat down, not knowing what to say. Hey, I said I want to thank you. Don't worry, I'm an angel, I'll keep my word. I'll get you the strawberry you want that will never be finished. Ruo-C looked at Roger and said. I suddenly remembered that there is a planet called Namek in our universe. Humans on the planet have a magical ability, they can make wishing beads. Weiss smiled and said, the reason why they can make wishing beads, but also because they found the fragments of the wishing star a long time ago. I believe that through the wishing beads, they can find strawberries that can never be eaten. Ah, really? Let's go to Namek now, shall we? Ruo-C looked excited. Cough. Weiss coughed. Oh, I'm here to find Roger. Ruo-C suddenly came to her senses. You're looking for me, Roger feigned surprise. I'm not looking for you, I'm looking for Roger, forget it, you don't know. Ruo-C glanced at Roger. Weiss continued to cover his face. Myers smiled wryly. This little sister is not an ordinary fool. At this moment, the whole world is quiet. A brief silence. Ruosi patted the table and stood up, glaring at Roger. You or Roger? Ruosi glared at Roger angrily. Roger nodded. I'll bite you. Ruosi rushed towards Roger and took a bite on Roger's shoulder. Crack. Roger's angelic power was released slightly. Only when Ruosi let out an exclamation, several teeth were chipped out at that time. You. Ruosi was so angry that she was bullied up and down her chest. As for the broken tooth, it recovered quickly. Angel's recovery ability is still very strong. However, Roger lost his teeth like this. Ruosi has no face. Why did you bite me? You just lost your teeth. You see, my shoulders are bleeding. Roger lifted his collar, and there were 2 rows of tooth marks on his shoulders, and bright red blood was already seeping out. Shameless. Ruosi stared. Deceive who? Still bleeding. Do angels bleed so easily? Cough cough. Ruosi, calm down. Weiss couldn't stand it any longer. What a bunch of problem kids. Josie is. Mel's too. Roger. Weiss felt tired, and Roger was the best of troubled children. Hearing Weiss's words and seeing Weiss winking at her, Ruosi sat down angrily. Ruosi, you see Roger guiding you in the universe, so that you can find Myers smoothly, otherwise, with your sense of direction, I'm afraid it will take a month to find. When Weiss said this, with her eyes, she motioned Ruosi not to speak, as long as she listened patiently. Ruosi wanted to get angry, but she wasn't so stupid that she couldn't understand this, so she snorted and didn't say anything. Since Roger helped you, you promised him a strawberry he would never finish, didn't you? Weiss asked again. If I knew he was Roger, I'd bite him. Ruosi gritted her teeth in anger. I will do what I promised, whether he is Roger or not. Weiss patted his forehead, regretting helping Ruosi. Okay, Brother Weiss, what do you say? I'll listen to you. Ruosi nodded. Then, let's use Namek's wishing beads to fulfill the wish of never-ending strawberries. Weiss looked at Roger with a smile and asked, what do you think? Roger figured it out. Weiss is waiting for him here. Weiss should know that he lives with Bulma and that Bulma is heading to Namek to find Dragon Ball. At this time, it is not impossible to collect the Dragon Balls first and realize the wish. Don't be so troublesome. Earth also has wishing beads. It was a long time ago when a certain Namekian came to the Earth and made a wishing bead. Roger smiled, but that Namekian is dead, Victoria. She resurrected him, and the wishing bead was resurrected, so why bother to go to Namek? Oh, I don't know how that Namekian died. Weiss asked curiously. You can see for yourself. Roger laughed. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 45 _ If Weiss has something to say, just say it. Okay. Weiss nodded, and projections appeared on the scepter in his hand. In the projection, Vegeta and Nappa came to Earth to fight. The projection is over soon. The 3 of Weiss also had a general understanding of what happened on Earth. So, Miss Bulma is currently going to Namek, looking for Dragon Balls to revive Piccolo here. Piccolo and Tenjin are the same person, one will be resurrected, and the other will be resurrected. Weiss pondered. Said, if I revive the gods now, Miss Bulma will be busy working in vain. Roger looked at Weiss, wondering what he wanted to do. Roger simply did not speak. Well, let's take a look at the situation of Namek first. By the way, let's see if Miss Bulma can successfully find the Dragon Ball. Weiss said, and a huge planet appeared on the scepter in his hand. And Frieza et al. It's Frieza. Myers recognized immediately. Well, Frieza, who is known as the Emperor of the Universe, is also on Namek. Miss Bulma may be more fortunate this time. Of course, if Roger also goes to Namek, Miss Bulma will not be in danger. Weiss smiled, looked at Roger, and didn't say any more. Weiss, you don't have to go around in circles, just say it. Roger said angrily. Okay, then I'll get it straight. Weiss said with a smile. Roger, how about we make a bet? Tell me about it. Roger smiled. It turns out that these are all to pave the way for this sentence. Frieza is looking for Dragon Balls. Bulma and the others are also looking for Dragon Balls, including Vegeta, too. Let's bet who of these three parties will find Dragon Balls and fulfill their wishes. Weiss smiled slightly and added, the premise is yes, we cannot intervene, otherwise the intervening party loses. Quote. What about the stakes? Roger asked. My sister Ruosi likes the newly born universe. If Roger loses, please eliminate the planet that was born in the new universe. At the same time, this new universe also belongs to my sister Ruosi. What do you think? He looked at Roger calmly. Roger suddenly realized that it turned out that Weiss had said so much and spared such a big circle for the new universe. What if I win? Roger smiled. The new universe belongs to you, Ruosi abstains. Weiss said. The new universe was originally mine, no gambling. Roger shook his head. Shameless. Ruosi stared. Actually, what Roger said is right. According to Roger's current speed of improvement in the real God domain, the ownership of the new universe is indeed not a big problem. Weiss nodded and asked Roger again, so, what do you want? To give you a wish for the dragon of the gods. No need. Roger shook his head. Tell me, what do you want? Weiss smiled. Roger thought for a while and looked at Weiss's angel scepter. The corner of Weiss' mouth could not help but twitch, and he hurriedly received the angel's scepter into his own alien space. This problem child actually wants his own angel scepter. Don't you have a rod? What do you see me doing? Weiss suddenly had a bad feeling. Weiss, you said that we are all angels. Is there anything we want in this universe? Except for the new universe. Roger smiled. Weiss didn't speak. If that's the case, then we have nothing to talk about. Roger said, getting up to go. Weiss looked at Myers and winked at him. Use mine, my angel scepter is of little use now. Myers understood. Yours. Roger sighed. Myers was a little embarrassed. It seems that my angel scepter has been disliked. There was silence for a moment. Okay, Roger agreed reluctantly. Myers wanted to cry. Is my angel's scepter so unpopular? Okay, then, it's settled so happily. Weiss smiled slightly. We are all gods, and there is no need for written restrictions. There are three forces in Namek looking for Dragon Balls. One is the Earthlings, the other is Vegeta, and the other is the Frieza Legion. Will they finally realize their wishes? Roger pondered. Okay, I will choose first. I choose Bay. I bet Vegeta gets all the Dragon Balls and fulfills her wish. Ruosi took the lead. Ruosi, you are not authentic. Roger stared. You have to have a first come, right? I don't care, you're too slow. Anyway, I'll choose first, hee. Ruosi seems to be a proud little princess, not to mention how happy she is at this moment. Does Ruosi choose on behalf of the two of you? Roger asked. This is a bet between you and Ruosi. She chose her, so she is the main one. Weiss smiled. Roger smiled. Roger saw it just now, and Weiss sent a voice transmission to Ruosi. It seems that Weiss wants to choose Vegeta to get the Dragon Ball and make his wish come true. You're embarrassing me, who should I choose? Roger sighed. I wanted to choose Vegeta, anyway, he's half my apprentice. I chose first, you can't choose again. Ruosi was very proud. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 46_Brother Weiss, why did you choose Vegeta? I'm left with the Earth and Frieza, you guys make me very confused. Roger scratched his head with reluctance on his face. Quick pick, Ruosi urged. Okay, I choose Earthlings. Roger said. Ha ha ha, Earthlings. Earthlings are the weakest. I think you can still win if you choose Frieza. Ruosi said with a smile. Roger did not speak. You said you guys are going to bet on this thing, why don't you go to the future with Kaiwangshan first? Then, from now on, The three of us must not interfere with the affairs on Namek, otherwise it will be regarded as cheating. Myers and I intervene, and Ruosi will be considered cheating. Weiss said. Bulma also asked me to accompany her to find Dragon Balls. Roger was unhappy. It's okay to protect Miss Bulma, but it's only limited to protecting her life and safety. You can't give her instructions when looking for Dragon Balls, or it's cheating. Weiss smiled. Okay, that's it. Roger nodded. Then, let's go first, and we will see you when the Earthlings arrive at Namek. Weiss greeted. Don't worry, what about the never-ending strawberries? Roger asked. Weiss' mouth twitched. How did I forget the strawberries? Roger, if I knew it was you, I wouldn't grant your wish. Ruosi stared at Roger angrily. Since you have promised, you should keep your promise. Roger's expression was flat. I. Ruosi was angry again. If it doesn't matter, I don't want strawberries that can never be eaten. Roger looked up and down at Ruosi. What do you want to do? Ruosi felt as if Roger had seen through her body. When I'm a servant for a day, the strawberries are free, Roger said. Don't, Ruosi shouted. Ahem, I'll find a way about the strawberry thing. Weiss coughed, we're going to say goodbye. Hey. After Weiss finished speaking, he pulled Ruosi and Myers, turned them into a colorful flame, and disappeared in a flash. Hey, Wes, don't you eat something? Roger shouted. No need, while I was enjoying the food, you were still on the divine tree. Weiss' voice came from a distance. Roger shook his head. Look scares you. The food on Earth, you missed it, I am afraid it will be 10 years later. Poor Weiss. Roger ignored it and continued to enjoy the food in this luxurious restaurant. Also, Roger sensed it this time. Ruosi's angel power is 9,999, which is 1 point behind her. It's not what Myers said, Ruosi's angel power is 10,000 like herself. Don't look at the difference of only 1 point, but there is a huge difference between 9,999 and 10,000. It is like the realm of true gods, 99 to 100,000, 199 to 200,000, 299 to 300. Every leap is a qualitative ascension. If 1 to 99 are 99 numbers, then 99 to 100 is not only one number, but 99.01 and 99.02 are also counted. If this number is understood as a breakthrough and advancement, it will be more clear. So, what do the power of angels and the realm of true gods mean? The power of an angel is equivalent to a special calculation value of combat power. The realm of true gods is equivalent to all kinds of weird fairy techniques, such as resurrecting people, rewinding time, healing, changing appearance, helping to give birth to children. The experience is to consume the power of angels and transform them into the realm of true gods through the consumption of the power of angels. So, if the power of these angels is exhausted, does the strength become weaker? It's not true. The power of angels takes shape as soon as they reach adulthood. For example, Roger has 10,000 points of angelic power, which only consumes points. Roger's own power will not be consumed. Of course, after reaching a certain height in the real God realm, it can also make up for the low power of angels. Moreover, under normal circumstances, angels do not need to fight. As for the bet, well, can Vegeta get the Dragon Ball without anyone interfering? It seems unlikely. Although, because of Roger, there have been some small changes in history, but the general direction remains the same. This can basically be confirmed by what happened after Roger came to Earth. For example, the Red Ribbon Legion, Dao Bai Bai, Jeline Shanren, He Shanren, Tianjin Rice and Dumplings, Piccolo, Tianshan, etc., these characters have hardly changed. The only thing that has changed is Bulma. After all, Roger has been eating and drinking at Bulma's house. Of course, it was only Bulma's boyfriend who changed. Because of Roger's relationship, Bulma was not with Leping. The rest of the things didn't change much. But what Roger couldn't understand was why did Whis let Rose choose Vegeta. In the distant starry sky, Weiss, Myers, and Ruosi were moving fast. Brother Weiss, why do you want me to choose Vegeta? Can the one named Vegeta really get Dragon Balls and make his wish come true? Ruosi asked. P.S. Dragon Ball, the strongest teacher, has 2.2 million words. It is fat and can be slaughtered. Click on the author's name to see it. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 47 _ biting and biting, biting out the feelings, rewarding and adding more for the perfect world. Ho ha ho, Weiss covered his mouth with a smile. I followed Roger a long time ago. He came to Universe 7 when he was an adult, and chose the Saiyan planet Vegeta experience, to Roger. Gita took good care of him. Unfortunately, his luck was not very good, and the planet Vegeta was destroyed by Frieza. For this reason, Roger also took Vegeta to the North King and asked the North King to train Vegeta. So, Roger takes this Vegeta very seriously. Myers smiled slightly. Yes, Roger said it himself, Vegeta is equivalent to half of Roger's apprentice. Whis said confidently, so, you think, in this Dragon Ball competition, the final winner, who will it be? It must be Vegeta. Brother Weiss, you are so smart. Ruosi suddenly realized, looking at Weiss with admiration. Ho ha ho, Weiss covered his mouth and laughed. Ruosi, don't get angry easily in the future, angels shouldn't be angry. Also, many things can't be solved without violence. For example, this matter, if you do get into a fight with Roger. Do you think you can fight him? I can. I can bite him to death. Ruosi gritted her teeth. I'm afraid that you bite and bite out of emotion. Myers whispered. What did you say? Ruosi said angrily. Myers looked up at the sky and pretended not to speak. Cough cough. Although you and Roger's angel power is only 1 point apart, there is a world of difference between 9,999 and 10,000. You know this better than me. Weiss coughed and continued. Said, however, we can get that universe back through a bet. Well, it makes sense. Brother Weiss is still facing me. Ruosi nodded. Then, let's go to Beerus-sama's planet for tea first, and we will leave for Namek in a few days. Weiss greeted with a smile. Brother Weiss, Roger won't cheat, right? Ruosi was a little worried. No, it's really cheating, I'll see it. Weiss smiled. Then, Brother Weiss, if you are cheating, can Roger see it? Ruosi lowered her voice. Weiss covered his face and didn't want to speak. Weiss is tired. Weiss really felt that when the angel was so tired. What a bunch of problem kids. I'm an angel at number 2 on the angel rankings, and it would be a shame to cheat for this. Roger stayed on Earth for 2 more days before turning into a colorful flame, swiftly swept towards Bulma's spaceship. When Roger opened the hatch of the spaceship and walked inside the spaceship, he saw Bulma drinking juice and looking at himself. Keelan and Son Gohan seemed to be too tired to practice and rested in the room. Roger, when did you go over there? Am I drunk? Can I get drunk by drinking juice? Bulma rubbed her eyes. I remember you were sleeping in your room. It's stuffy in the spaceship. I went outside to get some air. Roger smiled. Bulma, getting used to Roger's bragging, simply shook her head and continued drinking the juice. Days in spaceships are so boring. At least, Bulma felt a little unlovable. I don't know how many days have passed. On this day, Namek finally arrived. During this period, Roger ran out a few more times, and came back soon after arriving at Namek. Crack. The spacecraft has landed on Namek. It's great, it's finally here. Bulma was so excited. First of all, I want to check the air composition of Namek. If there is enough oxygen, we don't need to use the oxygen mask, but it can be omitted. No small hassle. While saying this to himself, Bulma glanced and saw Roger, Krillin and Son Gohan outside the spaceship. Bulma nearly fainted. Bulma got off the spaceship angrily. Do you know what the consequences of leaving the spaceship without authorization will be? Bulma said angrily, Akimbo. Krillin and Son Gohan scratched their heads and smiled bitterly. Bulma thinks that we are one step ahead of her on the land of Namek. Krillin lowered his voice. A brief silence. This is Namek. There are 3 suns in the sky. Bulma looked around curiously, and then said, by the way, hurry up and see, are there any Dragon Balls on this planet? Krillin quickly took out the Dragon Ball radar. Beep. The Dragon Ball radar soon showed 7 sparkling dots. There is a reaction, there is really a Dragon Ball. It's great. Bulma shouted excitedly. Vic and the others can be resurrected. Krillin was also very happy. Yeah, Sun Wukong nodded vigorously. Shish, shish. At this moment, 2 aliens appeared above the sky and looked at Roger and the others silently. The 3 of Keelan, Son Gohan, and Bulma suddenly quieted down. This, doesn't it mean that there are only Nameks like Piccolo on Namek? Who are they? An unfamiliar face. Bulma grabbed Roger's arm tightly in fright. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 48 _ has Bay come to Namek. Add more rewards for half a lifetime. Roger looked up at the sky. Through the atmosphere above space, Roger saw Whis and Rose suspended high in the sky. Myers didn't come, presumably something happened. Cheating is a puppy, Ruo C voice transmission. It's the puppy who bites, Roger replied. You, Ruo C gritted her teeth. Below Wes and Ruo C, about 10 meters from the ground, 2 aliens were suspended in the air, looking at the 4 of Roger. These 4 poor bastards. The combat power is too low. Maybe they came here for a tour. What should I do? Do you want to kill them? Didn't Your Excellency Frieza say that? Kill all those who have nothing to do with Dragon Ball. Is that their spaceship? Destroy their spaceship first so they can't escape. Hey! A flame of energy blasted out from the hands of one of the aliens. Bang! The energy flame directly penetrated the core of the spaceship. Immediately, a cloud of blue smoke came out of the spaceship, which was completely destroyed. Bulma was so frightened that her legs couldn't stop shaking, and she was almost lying on Roger's body. Don't be afraid, there is me. Roger patted Bulma on the back. Gohan, burst your breath, these 2 guys are nothing. Klein said. Yes, Uncle Krillin. Sun Wukong nodded. Boom. The breath of the 2 broke out and charged towards the 2 aliens. Boom. Accompanied by 2 muffled sounds, the 2 aliens were eliminated by Keelan and Sun Wukong, one by one. Ha ha ha, victory victory, great job, Krillin and Son Gohan high five. Not good at all, Bulma angrily exclaimed. Krillin and Son Gohan quickly shut up. It's over, the spaceship is broken, there's no way to go back to Earth. Woo woo, Bulma's tears fell. Krillin and Son Gohan looked at each other. Kling even winked at Roger, meaning to let Roger help to persuade Bulma. Roger was indifferent. Hey! At this moment, I saw a spherical spaceship falling rapidly in the distance. That's a spaceship. Why does it look familiar? Krillin's face changed color. Yes, it's Bay Gun's spaceship. Son Gohan was trembling with fright. Ah, Begum, has he come to Namek? Bulma was terrified and grabbed Roger tightly, wishing to be one with him. Too terrifying. This is bad. Has Bay come to Namek? Goku is still in the hospital. This is how to do. This may be similar to a spaceship, not Bay Gun, Klein said optimistically. I hope so, Bulma nodded. Hey! Just when the 3 were surprised, another spaceship fell from the sky. Another spaceship, Krillin exclaimed. It's over. This is terrible. Are we going to die in a foreign country? Bulma burst into tears. I want to go. To see, Sun Wukong suggested tremblingly. Gohan, hide your breath immediately. Krillin said quickly. The 2 hid their breath and moved cautiously in the direction of the spaceship. Roger, let's find a place to hide first. Bulma pulled Roger and hid behind a rock. Crunch. The spaceship door opened, and Vegeta stepped out of the spaceship. Seeing that Bay Gungan appeared, Keelan and Son Gohan turned pale with fright. Vegeta's face was full of confidence. Crunch. The door of another spacecraft opened, and Chuyi stepped out from inside. Vegeta, wash your neck and wait for the slaughter. Chuyi sneered. Chuyi, if you want to come here to die by yourself, I have no choice but to fulfill you. Vegeta chuckled lightly. Vegeta, you should be optimistic about your combat power first, but my combat power far exceeds yours. Chuyi said, and flew to the opposite side of Vegeta. Fighting power. I'll show you the new abilities I learned on Earth. Vegeta smiled. What ability? Is it the ability to escape? Chuyi chuckled. It's the ability to control the combat power at will. Vegeta smiled slightly, and the breath suddenly burst out. Bang! Chuyi's detector exploded immediately. Chuyi's face became extremely ugly, and his pupils narrowed. How is it? How do you feel? Vegeta looked at Chuyi hideously. Impossible. It's impossible. The detector must be broken. Chuyi was so frightened that his face turned blue. The next moment, Chuyi turned around and ran without any hesitation. Vegeta's right index finger and middle finger came together, and an invisible energy burst out. Boom! With a bang, Chuyi turned into a cloud of blood at that time, and he couldn't die any longer. HMPH, self-righteous idiot. Vegeta smiled contemptuously. I learned to control the combat power from Roger a long time ago, but I was too lazy to kill you, so I had to follow him to death. Krillin and Son Gohan were terrified and hurriedly slipped away. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 49 Vegeta was scared away. It's really Vegeta. What to do? Kling asked. He looks stronger than ever. As of now, I can only find a way to repair the spaceship and take over Wukong. Bulma suggested. But, 4 months back and forth. Krillin shook his head. When we come back again, I am afraid that Bei Gungun has already collected all the Dragon Balls and fulfilled his wish. Maybe by then, Bei Gungun will kill the dragons or the Nameks who made the Dragon Balls. Then, what do you say? Bulma was completely lost. Just stay and try your luck, Kling suggested. Whatever. You can stay if you want to stay. Roger, please accompany me to find a hidden place. We will hide first. Bulma thought for a while and said to Roger, I and Roger are different from you. Be careful yourself, don't lure that babe to us. Krillin and Son Gohan nodded solemnly, took out the Dragon Ball radar, and planned to secretly search for Dragon Ball. Not far away. Vegeta was silent for a moment. Frieza is also looking for Dragon Ball. I'm not his opponent yet, try to avoid him. Vegeta muttered to himself, however, as long as I have the body of immortality, I can be resurrected without limit to improve the combat effectiveness. HMPH, when that time comes, whatever Super Saiyan Bardock, whatever Frieza, you will all be trampled under my feet by Vegeta. Quote. Vegeta almost screamed to the sky, as if the Dragon Ball was already his. I really want to sense a faint aura over there. It's nearby. Did I sense something wrong? Vegeta suddenly sensed that there was an extremely faint aura not far from him. Breath. Vegeta thought about it and decided to take a look. Hey! Vegeta came swiftly towards Roger. The breath that Vegeta sensed was exactly that of Bulma. At present, Krillin and Son Gohan have been able to control their combat power to 0 after training. There was no breath on Roger's body, he used divine power. Of course, Roger can also release his breath, but it is not necessary. However, Bulma has not practiced before, so she still has a bit of breath. As long as you feel it seriously, you can sense it. The straight line distance between the two sides is about 100 meters. Vegeta appeared in front of Roger and the others in an instant. Krillin was dumbfounded. Son Gohan was dumbfounded. Bulma was dumbfounded. All three were stunned. Then, the three of them were stunned to see that Bei Gungun also looked dumbfounded. Even Bei Gungun shivered. Can Vegeta be dumbfounded? Can Vegeta not shiver? Vegeta was really freaked out. Why did you meet Roger here? Why? Vegeta has no face to see Roger. Roger said last time that he would go to see him after winning Kakarot. As a result, Vegeta lost to the inferior warrior Kakarot, and lost miserably. Vegeta looked at Roger in horror. Even if I wanted to see Roger, it was only after I had fulfilled my wish of immortality. Now that I see him, isn't he going to get out of me again? Vegeta looked at Roger with such a trembling expression. Bulma, Krillin, and Son Gohan also looked at Vegeta with such a trembling expression. Both sides were shaking. There was silence for about 10 seconds. Roger yawned. Hey! Vegeta was frightened, and hurriedly turned into a white glow, and disappeared in a flash. It wasn't until several kilometers away that Vegeta was panting heavily, and the cold sweat on her face fell from her face. After being sluggish for a moment, Vegeta was a little confused. Is that man really Roger? Why? Why didn't he get rid of me? Why? Why don't you get out of me? Vegeta was at a loss. This was not Roger's style. Vegeta really wanted to leave this planet immediately. However, after weighing the pros and cons, Vegeta still feels that Dragon Ball is more important. Otherwise, every time I meet Roger, I will be frightened, and the face of the Saiyan Prince will make me lose all of my face. No, I want to find Dragon Ball. Vegeta bared her teeth. Fuck me, just get rid of me, I won't die anyway. Far away. Bulma, Krillin, and Son Gohan stared at each other even bigger than the other. The three of them looked at each other and couldn't come back to their senses. They rolled away. But why? I found out that Bei Gun was very scared after seeing us. Klein pondered. Well, I saw his body trembling. Son Gohan nodded. Isn't she scared away by Bulma? I heard that Leping trembled with fright when he saw Bulma for the first time. Klein guessed. I knew this earlier, when Vegeta went to Earth. Let Bulma stop there, and Wukong won't have to do anything. Bang! Bulma turned black and knocked Krillin down with a punch. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 50_Weiss. Are you going to lose? On the sky. What a stupid earthling. Ruosi shook her head helplessly when she saw this scene. Don't they know? Vegeta was scared away by Roger. Weiss glanced at Ruosi, but said nothing. You seem to be stupid too. Stupid sister, stupid sister. Cough, didn't you see anything? Weiss coughed and reminded. What did you see? Ruosi was puzzled. Roger scared Vegeta away. Weiss reminded again. Well, I saw it. Ruosi nodded seriously and stopped talking. Weiss stopped talking. What a silly little sister. Did Roger's angelic power really break her head? After a minute. I know. Roger is cheating. Ruosi suddenly woke up and exclaimed. Weiss covered his face. Did you just react? If it wasn't for me to supervise here, maybe you'd lose everything on you to Roger. Roger, come up. Ruosi voice transmission. Roger looked up at the sky. What's the matter? Roger passed through a faint voice transmission. You cheated, you scared Vegeta away. Ruosi said, so, I won. Don't make trouble, I didn't say anything, I didn't do anything, he scared away himself. If I was cheating, the two of you were suspended in the sky, and it also affected the climate of Namek. Roger plausibly said, you said, the weather has been affected, will it change their minds? For example, it didn't rain today, because it rained because of your presence. Do you think they are in a bad mood to search for Dragon Balls? What he said makes sense. Ruosi looked at Weiss. Weiss simply ignored him. There was 10 seconds of silence. Well, let's go back in time and go back to 3 minutes ago. Roger, you find an opportunity to leave the team of the Earthlings. Weiss suggested. All right. Roger didn't object. Roger was thinking, how could Vegeta suddenly run over? In serious history, Vegeta would not pay attention to Bulma's side. At least when he first came to Namek, Vegeta didn't meet Son Gohan and the others. It wasn't until several days later that Vegeta knew that Son Gohan and the others had come to Namek. Roger guessed that it may be because of his appearance that history has changed. Huh. Weiss used time reincarnation to return to 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago, it happened that Vegeta killed Chuyi and was thinking about Dragon Ball. Bulma here. It's really Vegeta. What to do? Kling asked. He looks stronger than ever. As of now, I can only find a way to repair the spaceship and take over Wukong. Bulma suggested. But, 4 months back and forth. Kling shook his head. When we come back again, I'm afraid Bei Gun has already collected all the Dragon Balls and fulfilled his wish. Maybe by that time, Bei Gun will meet Kill the Dragons or the Nameks who made the Dragon Balls. Then, what do you say? Bulma asked, glancing at Roger away. Hey, what are you doing? Roger. Go to the toilet, you can do whatever you want. After Roger finished speaking, before the three of them noticed him, he turned into a colorful flame and appeared beside Wes and Ruosi in a flash. Weiss nodded as a greeting. Ruosi watched Roger grind his teeth. I'm here this time, and I won't play cheating anymore, it's boring. Roger said lightly, if you have time, it's better to consume more angel power and transform into the realm of true gods. Since you came up, Roger, it's not cheating. Weiss smiled, this is also because we didn't say hello in advance. Well, from now on, you can get in touch with Bulma, and also you can have contact with people on Earth, but you can't have direct contact with Vegeta or Frieza. Also, you can't reveal your identity. You can only continue to be an ordinary person. Is that okay? Quote. There are too many rules and regulations, so don't play. Roger shook his head. Don't, otherwise, I'll take my angel's scepter too. Ruosi was anxious. Shut up. Weiss's nose was crooked with anger. Feelings, are you taking your scepter as a bet? Roger, think about it carefully, we are very sincere, and we are also making this game of finding Dragon Ball fairer, isn't it? Weiss said with a serious face. Well, for the sake of your sincerity, I'll reluctantly agree. Roger sighed and nodded reluctantly. Weiss felt so tired. Seems to have wrinkles on his face. Weiss felt that next time, he wouldn't say anything to help this silly little sister with these boring things. Well now, be careful with Meyer's scepter. Not right. Why do I think I'm going to lose? Weiss suddenly felt that he must be thinking too much. A dignified angel, how could I, who ranked second in the angel rankings, lose to a trainee angel? I must be thinking too much. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 51 _ This planet is dangerous. Roger, Weiss, and Rose all looked down together. I saw Vegeta standing there in a daze. There was silence for a moment. Vegeta turned into a white-on and quickly left here. This time, Vegeta did not go to Bulma and the others, but flew away directly. Look Roger, you're not by the Earth's side, Vegeta didn't go to them, and you didn't make her body tremble. Ruosi was very proud. Roger looked a little complicated. Seeing Roger's expression, Joss was overjoyed at the time. It seems that Vegeta is more likely to get Dragon Balls to fulfill her wish. Below. Hey, where's Roger? Look for Roger. Bulma saw that Roger was gone. Didn't he go to the toilet? Kling asked. Mainly because I can't sense Roger's breath. Sun Wukong scratched his head. By the way, does Roger deliberately avoid you when he goes to the toilet? Is it still necessary for the relationship between the two of you? Klein asked Bulma. What do you mean? Bulma's face darkened. Roger and I are clean, okay. Haha, just kidding, kidding. Krillin laughed. Go find Roger. Don't let the bad guys take Roger. Bulma shouted. Be quiet, Bei Gun may still be nearby. Kaylin lowered his voice. Okay, take your time, I have to go down. If I suddenly lose it, I won't have to look for the Dragon Ball. Roger greeted lightly, and quickly landed behind a mountain in the distance. You can't have contact with Vegeta or Frieza. Weiss giggled. Well, just to be on the safe side, you should block me. Only the people on Earth can see me, so that neither Vegeta nor Frieza can see me. Roger replied indifferently. Okay, no problem. Weiss thought this was a good idea. Huh. The scepter in Weiss's hand flashed. An invisible power hit Roger's body. In this way, except for Bulma, Sun Wukong, Keelan and Sun Wuhan who can see Roger, the rest of the people will regard Roger as an air-like existence. Roger ignored it. It's better not to touch. In fact, contact will only make history change, and there will be more changes. Wes, you are such a good man. Hey, I'm here. Roger appeared from behind the mountain and said hello. Really, running that far to the toilet? Bulma breathed a sigh of relief. As long as Roger is fine. Sorry, I saw a strange animal just now. Out of curiosity, I accidentally ran away. Roger smiled. Do you know Roger? This planet is very dangerous. Bulma shouted, don't be careless. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Roger smiled. Actually, sometimes I really admire Roger's confidence, even more confident than Wukong. Krillin sighed slightly. Stop talking nasty things there. You two go to Dragon Ball quickly. Roger and I will find a safe place to hide around here, and then call Goku by the way and talk about the situation here. Bulma suggested. Okay, then, Gohan, let's go. Krillin greeted. Yes, Uncle Krillin. Sun Wukong nodded solemnly. Bulma carefully pulled Roger, found a cave where he could hide, and lost a house with an omnipotent capsule. Weiss, please reinforce our house with the realm of the true gods. Roger sent a voice transmission to Weiss. Weiss. However, Weiss also knew that strengthening the house would not affect the collection of Dragon Balls. After all, collecting Dragon Balls this time has little to do with Bulma. Mainly because the two Earthlings were busy outside. However, why use my real god domain? Weiss felt at a loss. 5 hours later. Seeing that Roger had something to eat and drink in the room, Wes and Rose were a little uneasy. The two of them have been suspended in the sky, with nothing to eat or drink. Although angels cannot eat or drink, they are so boring. For more than 5 hours, it was suspended here like this. How about, Brother Weiss, let's go in and sit for a while. Get something to eat by the way. Ruo-C suggested. Ahem, judging from the current situation, I'm afraid it will take a few days to collect the 7 Dragon Balls. Weiss pondered, well, Ruo-C, you are here to supervise Roger, there is something else, go back first. Let Weiss go to Roger's room to rest, Weiss can't afford to lose the man. Okay, Ruo-C nodded. I'll be on the planet Beerus, watching Roger at all times. Weiss said. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 52_Angel, S Troubles. Brother Weiss, we will win. That universe is mine, Ruo-C replied. Of course. Weiss smiled confidently and waved at Ruo-C. Hey. Weiss turned into a colorful flame, broke into the void, and disappeared in a flash. Ruo-C stayed high in the sky, feeling a little lonely for a while. That beautiful face, at this moment, makes the entire Namek eclipse somewhat. Ruo-C looked down again and found that Roger was talking and laughing with Bulma in the room, and there were fruits and desserts to eat, and her heart suddenly became angry. I'm suspended here, nothing to eat, nothing to drink, you're better off. Another hour passed. No, I want to. Hey. Ruo-C couldn't bear it anymore, turned into a colorful light, and quickly landed at the door of Bulma's small house. Dong dong dong. Ruo-C stepped forward and knocked on the door. Bulma was startled. Why is someone knocking on the door? Roger, what to do? Has anyone found us? Bulma shuddered. I'll take a look. Roger knew who it was. Don't, or, pretend there's no one in the room. Bulma grabbed Roger a little scared. It's alright, it'll be alright. Roger looked indifferent. Then you should be careful. Bulma nodded lightly, knowing that it was unrealistic not to open the door. If it really is Bei Gun or something, if you don't open the door, won't people break in? Or even if it's not Bei Gun, but the accomplices of the 2 aliens who were killed before, they can break into this house. Roger went to open the door, while Bulma was a little scared, but she mustered up her courage and followed behind Roger. Crack! The door was opened. Divine power emerged in Roger's hand, and an invisible flame hit Ruosi at that time. Yeah, Ruosi exclaimed, her body shrinking rapidly. Crack! Ruosi turned into a snow-white kitten, which was quite cute. You! Ruosi trembled with anger. You dare to use the realm of true gods to change me. You said that you are now by Bulma's side, interfering with her life. If you let the earth get the Dragon Balls and make her wish come true, wouldn't you say I'm cheating again? Roger said to Ruosi. Road. Ruosi was slightly taken aback. It seems that what you said makes sense. I think it's more appropriate for you to become a kitten, isn't it? It won't have any effect on the search for Dragon Ball, Roger said with a smile. Rose gritted her teeth. Come on, do you want to eat? Roger gave Ruosi a biscuit. Meow. Ruosi stared. Do you really treat me as a pet cat? I am an angel. I am an angel. I am an angel. Let's go, since I want to come in and play, I'm more than welcome. Roger greeted with a smile. Meow. Ruosi responded. Huh, a cute kitty. Bulma was stunned. Is there a cat on Namek? Maybe there is. Roger smiled and hugged Ruosi. Hey, you touched my chest. Ruosi voice transmission. It's just a cat, how can it have a chest? Roger reprimanded angrily. I'll bite you. Ruosi opened her mouth and was about to bite at Roger. Don't want teeth anymore, Roger voiced. Ruosi died suddenly. Let me cuddle, let me cuddle. Bulma thinks this kitten is too cute, so she will come forward and give her a hug. Meow. Ruosi bared her teeth at Bulma, her white hair rose from her body, revealing her white teeth, and she looked like she was going to work hard. I'm an angel, just let the same kind hug me. You, a little human, dare to hug me. Ruosi won't let Bulma hug her. It's so fierce. Bulma took a step back in fright and sighed slightly, the wildness has not been removed. Meow. Ruosi bared her teeth. Who are you calling wild? Okay, be quiet, there is something to eat over there, you can eat whatever you want. Roger patted Ruosi on the head and greeted Ruosi. Do you really think of me as a cat? Ruosi glared angrily. However, seeing Roger and this human being eat delicious food before, Ruosi was a little greedy. Immediately, Ruosi jumped onto the table and started tasting the snacks. Beerus Planet. On the scepter in Whis' hand, Ruosi turned into a kitten appeared. Whis covered her face, wanting to cry without tears. In fact, if you think about it carefully, if the new universe is really handed over to Ruosi, will she be able to take care of it? Another hour or so passed. Bulma, open the door, it's me and Gohan. Suddenly there was a sound outside the door. Bulma hurried over to open the door. The door opened, and in addition to Son Gohan and Krillin, there was an unfamiliar child. The child has green skin and 2 tentacles on his head. Is this a Namekian? It looks a lot like Piccolo. Bulma looked at the Namekian child in surprise. The Namekian child hid behind Krillin in fear. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 53 _ tell you a secret. His name is Dandy. Kling introduced with a smile. Dandy, she is Bulma, although she looks a bit fierce, but don't be afraid, she is all her own. Bang! Bulma knocked Krillin down with a punch. Dandy was startled, really fierce. After entering the house. Dandy, this is Roger. Kling introduced. Dandy was dumbfounded. That's a chair. Do Earthlings even have names for their chairs? Dandy can't see Roger. Currently only people from the Earth can see Roger. For example, Sun Wukong and Piccolo who will come later, as people from the Earth, can see Roger. Ah, Dandy sneered, facing the chair, hello. Roger did not speak. Wow, he really thought you were a chair. Ruosi laughed. Gohan and I found a nearby Dragon Ball through the Dragon Ball radar, and met Dandy and the Namekians. Krillin said to Bulma, The current situation is that we found that apart from that big gun besides, there is another group of people looking for Dragon Ball, and the leader of this group should be stronger than Vegeta. The two people we saw before should be part of this group. Sun Wukong added. Don't ask me, Roger and I are both ordinary people. It's good to be able to accompany you to Namek. What do you guys think? Bulma asked. There are a lot of people in that group, and there are at least 3 people I can't resist head-on. Klein sighed. I mean, repair the spaceship and leave here as soon as possible. Wait for the group to realize their wishes, and then come here. Do you think that if they fulfill their wishes, they will really wait for you to collect the Dragon Balls? Bulma smiled. If the other party is really as evil as you said, I am afraid that if they fulfill their wishes, they will destroy the entire planet. Quote. It's really nerve-wracking. What should I do? Kling was completely at a loss. You mean that Namek will be doomed? Dandy's face changed color. Keelan, Son Gohan and Bulma nodded silently together. How could this be? Dandy was so frightened that his face was pale, and his body couldn't stop shivering. There was silence for a moment. I'm going to take you to see the Great Elder. Dandy made up his mind. Elder? Who is it? Kaylin was stunned. It's the one who gave birth to us and the one who made Dragon Ball, Dandy explained. Born? How? Bulma asked. Spit an egg, and the egg hatches. Dandy gave Bulma a strange look. So, you Namekians are no longer male or female? Bulma asked in surprise. What are male and female? Dandy wondered. What a boring nation. There are no men and women. Bulma looked surprised, and then rejoiced. Fortunately, I'm not a Namekian, otherwise life would be so boring. Ruosi, how do you think our angels have children? Roger asked curiously. It seems to be the same as the people on Earth. Otherwise, why did you choose to practice on Earth? Ruosi was not surprised. Same as Earthlings. Really or not? You said that if the two of us had a child, we would be angels too. Roger was a little strange. Don't all the angels grow in the angel tree? Since it is possible to have children, why should there be an angel tree? Forget it, the child born between angels is not an angel. Ruosi gave Roger a roll of eyes. Not an angel, what? Not just an ordinary person? Roger asked. Of course he's not an ordinary person anymore, his divine power is similar to that of the Realm King, Ruosi said. Understood. Roger nodded. Wait, you said just now, who do you have a baby with? Ruosi reacted suddenly. You. Roger smiled. I. Ruosi gritted her teeth angrily. Krillin has already negotiated that he is going to see the Great Elder of Namek. Gohan, you stay to take care of Bulma and Roger, and Dandy and I will go to see the Elder. Krillin suggested. Son Gohan nodded. Dandy looked confused. It's okay to take care of Bulma, why take care of a chair? Is there anything special about this chair? Dandy looked at the chair silently. It seems that the material is also very common. Go, Dandy, follow me, Klein greeted. Let's speed up while their probes are gone. Okay, Dandy nodded. Whoa. The two turned into 2 white ons and rushed into the sky. At the same time, after Vegeta showed her powerful fighting power, she scared the opponent Dodoria to the point of twitching her whole body. Vegeta, you. As long as you spare me, I will tell you a secret. Dodoria said quickly. Oh, are you trying to tell me that planet Vegeta is the secret that Frieza destroyed? Vegeta chuckled. No, of course not. Dodoria shook his head and waved his hand. You saw that planet Vegeta was destroyed by Lord Frieza, so it's not a secret. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 54_Beerus is about to wake up. You said. Vegeta sneered. This secret is about Lord Frieza's wish this time, Dodoria said. Oh, isn't it immortal? Vegeta was stunned. Lord Frieza's initial plan was indeed to make a wish to obtain immortality. Dodoria nodded. However, Lord Frieza weighed the pros and cons and felt that even if he really made a wish for immortality, after meeting that Roger, I'm afraid he is still not his opponent. Although he can't be killed, but sealing him up, or beating him half to death, wouldn't life be better than death? Well, Frieza makes sense. Vegeta smiled and asked, so, did you find Roger? Not yet, but Lord Frieza said that someone should be able to find Roger. Dodoria replied. Can someone find it? Vegeta muttered, thinking about it. It seems that Frieza doesn't know Roger is on Earth yet. Vegeta, have you heard of the God of Destruction? Dodoria asked suddenly. God of Destruction. It seems to have an impression. Vegeta thought thoughtfully. According to legend, the God of Destruction, Lord Beerus, is the most powerful god in the universe. Dodoria said word by word, but unfortunately, Lord Beerus seems to be sleeping. If you can wake Lord Beerus. Even a Super Saiyan god, will be hanged by Beerus-sama. God of Destruction, Beerus. Vegeta's mind suddenly thought of a person. It seems that there is indeed a guy who looks like a cat, who once came to planet Vegeta and stepped on his father. Is this guy strong? That's right, Beerus, the God of Destruction. Dodoria nodded. So, this time Frieza's wish is to wake up the sleeping God of Destruction Beerus. Vegeta smiled. If this is the secret you're trying to tell, I'm a little disappointed. Saying that, Vegeta's face showed a strong killing intent. Wait a minute, Vegeta, wait for me to finish. Dodoria was frightened, and quickly stepped back, adding, there is another secret. Vegeta chuckled lightly and motioned Dodoria to continue. Although it was Lord Frieza who destroyed planet Vegeta, do you know who is behind the scenes? Vegeta, Dodoria asked suddenly. Could it be? Vegeta's face sank. Yes, it is the God of Destruction, Lord Beerus. Dodoria laughed. Vegeta, you Saiyans have provoked the most powerful god in this universe. You should accept your fate as soon as possible. Lord Street is really awake. Do you think the man named Roger can be so arrogant? Lord Frieza hasn't shot against you all these years. Is it because Roger protects you? Wake up, Vegeta, your age of Saiyans is over. Dodoria slowly flew into the sky while speaking. Goodbye, Vegeta, just wait to be judged by the strongest god. Dodoria smiled. Ha, God of Destruction. Vegeta snorted coldly and looked up at Dodoria. Ha. Vegeta flickered and appeared behind Dodoria. Bang. Vegeta kicked away. With a bang, Dodoria was like a cannonball, hitting the ground heavily, leaving a big hole on the ground. The next moment, Vegeta put her hand on Dodoria's back heart. Dodoria, you are wrong, I am a Saiyan, we are a fighting nation, even if we are gods, what can we do? Vegeta said coldly. Boom. The energy in Vegeta's hand surged out, directly penetrating Dodoria's heart. HMPH, the mighty Dodoria is dead. Vegeta pondered. Dodoria said before that the Earthlings also came to Namek. Although I don't think it's very likely, but if it does come, it is let them bring a letter to Roger and tell him about the God of Destruction. Vegeta was silent for a while. Over there, I sensed 2 breaths, let's confirm it first. Vegeta muttered to himself. Hey. Vegeta turned into a white on and swept away in the direction of Krillin and Dandy. Kling and Dandy, who were on the move, suddenly sensed Vegeta's powerful aura and were flying towards them. No, it's Vegeta, hurry up and hide. Krillin was startled, hurriedly hid his breath, and landed with Dandy. The breath has disappeared. Vegeta was stunned for a moment, then glanced, and found a Namekian village in the distance, and was happy at that time. Is that a Namekian village? Maybe there are Dragon Balls. Well, I have to quickly fulfill my wish of immortality, so that even if Beerus wakes up, I will be the prince. Bah, I, Prince Vegeta, will surpass Roger and defeat Beerus. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 55_Roger, do you know each other? Hey. Vegeta changed the direction of travel, fell from the sky, and landed in the village over there. 20 minutes later. Vegeta killed all the Nameks in the village and found a Dragon Ball in the room. Cut, this is the Dragon Ball. I thought it would be hidden, but I didn't expect it to be placed in such a conspicuous position. Vegeta sneered, I heard that only 7 Dragon Balls can be fulfilled, so I'll put this first Dragon Ball as hidden, at least to keep Frieza out of the way. Quote. Hey. Vegeta threw the Dragon Ball into a nearby lake. In the process of Vegeta's search for Dragon Ball, Krillin and Dandy finally met the Great Elder of Namek. The Elder helped Krillin to guide potential energy and gave Krillin a Dragon Ball. After obtaining the Dragon Ball, Krillin quickly moved towards where Bulma was. However, Krillin was a little carried away. After Vegeta sensed Krillin's breath, he quickly chased after him. Krillin didn't know it at all. Soon, Krillin landed at the door of Bulma's house with the Dragon Ball he got from the Elder. Bulma, Gohan, I'm back. Krillin said happily, look, what I brought back. Bulma took Roger and ran out. Dragon Ball. Great. Bulma exclaimed excitedly, however, Namek's Dragon Ball is really big enough. Haha, yes. Krillin smiled and scratched his head, this is a good start, maybe we can really realize our wish. By the way, what about Gohan? Gohan took the Dragon Ball radar and went to find Dragon Ball, should he be back soon? Bulma pondered. Really, our luck is here. Krillin laughed. When Gohan comes back, I will take him to see the Great Elder. The Great Elder can guide us to potential energy. The Earth is many times stronger. Well, Gohan is back. Bulma pointed behind Krillin. Krillin looked back, and when he sensed Vegeta's breath, his face turned pale, and his whole body trembled with fright. It was too late to avoid. Huh. Vegeta landed on Krillin's side with a faint smile on his face. Baby gun. Krillin looked at Vegeta with a trembling look. Bulma turned pale with fright, and her whole body was on Roger's body. How come Bay Gun Gun? What did you call me? Vegeta's face darkened. I didn't say anything. Krillin was confused. Bang! Vegeta kicked Krillin to the ground with one kick. Immediately afterwards, Vegeta stepped on Krillin's body and rolled on the ground. Krillin. Krillin would like to ask, what is your hobby? Look, you were rolled on the ground by me, do you look like a yo-yo? I'll call you a yo-yo later. Vegeta looked at Krillin's head with a smile. Krillin. Krillin wanted to cry. Give me the Dragon Ball, you can spare your life. Vegeta snorted coldly, glancing strangely in Bulma's direction. Because now except Bulma, Son Gohan, and Krillin, the rest of the human beings can't see Roger, so Bulma's octopus moves a bit weird. Bulma just clawed on Roger's body, trembling with fright. From Vegeta's point of view, Bulma seems to have left the ground, like a female ghost, an unspeakable evil. However, Vegeta has nothing to worry about, guessing that it may be a manifestation of the fear of the Earth women. Aren't you going to kill us? After Krillin asked, he wanted to slap himself. Why am I so cheap? What am I asking about this? By the way, I want to ask you something, where's Roger? Vegeta let go, looked at Krillin, and then at Bulma. Roger. Krillin and Bulma were a little confused. The two looked at Roger together. Does Roger know Vegeta? It's just that Roger is right in front of Vegeta. What do you mean by asking that? Krillin and Bulma looked at each other. Didn't you come? Vegeta shook her head and sighed when she saw their expressions. Yes, or not. Krillin was even more confused. Another question. Vegeta chuckled, where's Kakarot? Wukong. This. Krillin stammered, not wanting to say. Forget it, if you can get in touch with Roger and tell him for me, Beerus, the strongest god of destruction in the universe, is probably about to wake up. Vegeta glanced at Bulma with a strange look, and put down the after the sentence. He took the Dragon Ball and turned into a white on, and quickly disappeared. Bulma was dumbfounded. Krillin was confused. The two looked up at the sky and looked at the disappearing Vegeta. Then, the two looked at Roger together. Roger, do you know each other? Bulma asked, looking at Roger. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 56_ If I don't accept anyone, I'll accept Roger. Well, I know. Speaking of which, Bay Gun Gun is half my student. Roger nodded, telling the truth. As far as bragging, I don't agree with anyone, so I will obey Roger. Krillin smiled and let out a long sigh. Bae-gun. The Roger that Vegeta said should not be the Roger we know. Couldn't he see Roger standing right here? That's right. Bulma nodded. He really can't see me, Roger replied. As soon as Roger finished speaking, the kitten Ruosi was pouting and biting. It's no use baring your teeth. No one will believe me when I tell the truth. Roger smiled. Rose rolled her eyes. Yes, Ruosi found that these two Earthlings really didn't believe it. Ruosi suddenly felt that these two Earthlings were so stupid. No matter what Vegeta said, the Dragon Ball that you finally got, you just gave it to him. Bulma asked with his hips crossed. Bulma, we are lucky not to be killed by him. Krillin smiled bitterly. PFF'd. Bulma suddenly laughed. What are you laughing at? Krillin wondered. Yo-yo. Bulma looked at Krillin's head. Hey, you're going too far, Bulma. Krillin said angrily. Yo-yos are flat. Bulma mused. Crin your head, I suddenly feel a little flat too. Bulma. Klein held his head and said angrily. Roger, what do you think? Bulma giggled. Roger nodded. Ruosi also grinned slyly. Look, the cats are smiling. Bulma smiled. Cat, when will there be an extra cat? Krillin was stunned. Roger's face was calm. It seems that Vegeta is a little resistant to the name Bae-gun. Take the time to let him stick to the nice nickname. Also, Bae-gun said, is Beerus about to wake up? Seems to be earlier than normal waking time. As for Beerus awakening, Roger didn't take it to heart. Just like Beerus' three-legged cat Kung Fu, Roger can slap him with a slap. Far away. Vegeta suddenly sensed a breath in front of him, and the breath disappeared in an instant. Hey, come out, I know you're nearby, otherwise I'll raise this area to the ground. Vegeta searched and couldn't find it, and got a little impatient. It's me, do ant fight. Sun Wukong hid the Dragon Ball and walked out tremblingly. It's you, Kakarot's son. Vegeta was stunned for a moment, then smiled. That's right, it's normal for that Earthman to appear on Namek, and it's normal for you to come here. You saw Uncle Keelan, you killed him. Sun Wukong was shocked. You want me to kill him? Well, I'll kill that yo-yo later. Vegeta chuckled. Yo-yo. Son Gohan scratched his head. You said, does his head look like a yo-yo? Vegeta asked, looking at Son Gohan. Sun Wukong nodded vigorously. Dare you say it's not like it? At this time, denying it, has not been beaten to death by Bae-gun. Is Uncle Kling's head as flat as a yo-yo? What are you holding in your hand? Vegeta looked at the Dragon Ball radar held in Son Gohan's left hand. Ah! Son Gohan hurriedly glanced at it and replied in horror, This is a watch. HMPH, the technology that can create such a rough watch, I really don't know how it came to Namek. Vegeta looked disdainful. Bang! Vegeta's knee hit Gohan's stomach hard. PFF'd. Sun Wukong spat out a mouthful of sour water at the time, and fell softly to the ground clutching his stomach. Go back and tell Kakarot that when I gather the Dragon Balls, I will personally go to Earth and destroy him. Vegeta laughed, turned into a white on, and left quickly. Son Gohan looked down at the Dragon Ball he was hiding and breathed a sigh of relief. After 3 minutes, Son Gohan returned to Bulma's residence with the Dragon Ball in his arms. Gohan. Krillin was surprised, you didn't see Vegeta. Son Gohan hurriedly told about seeing Vegeta. Gohan, your luck is so good. So, Vegeta doesn't know that you still have a Dragon Ball in your hand. Krillin said with a smile. Son Gohan nodded vigorously. Not good. Let's move as soon as possible. Vegeta already knows where we live. If Vegeta finds us again, it will be dangerous. Krillin suggested. Bulma and Son Gohan felt right. 4 people and 1 cat quickly moved out of their original residence. Keelan, Son Gohan and Bulma discussed the next plan. Roger was standing outside with the kitten Ruosi, breathing fresh air. It's so boring. According to the progress of their collection of Dragon Balls, I think it will take at least 6 or 7 days to get them together. Kitten Ruo-si yawned. Roger did not speak, but his heart was full of joy. Because, the power of angels consumes a lot. Roger, how much of your angelic power is spent? Ruo-si asked. There are 1,500 left, said Roger. What? Didn't you have more than 1,900 in the past 2 days? Ruo-si looked at Roger in surprise. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 57 _ A call from the 11th universe for the reward of Hongmeng Sheng. What's the matter? I'm a genius. Roger smiled. Then you. What about your true god domain? Ruo-si asked again. It's 199. Roger smiled. I wonder if Sabe and Klut's real god realm has broken through to 200. I remember when I saw you a few days ago, your true god realm was 182. Ruo-si asked. You think I'm as busy as you? I came to Namek to practice, how about you? Roger grinned. Ruo-si was so tired that she simply stopped talking. Because, Ruo-si's true god domain is only 10. Ruo-si, you see Namek is boring enough, why don't you go somewhere else? Roger asked suddenly. Where? Ruo-si was stunned. Just as he was talking, Roger's scepter stored in the different space shook slightly. Huh. Roger changed the scepter. The 11th universe. Roger was stunned. Sure enough, a person's voice came from the scepter soon. Only sound, no picture. This time the scepter is equivalent to a voice call. Hello Roger, my name is Krut. Anything? Roger asked directly. Klut, also a trainee angel, is 30 years older than Roger. Of course, 30 years is almost nothing to an angel. I heard that Ruo-si went to the 7th universe, and Myers is also in the 7th universe. You chose to practice in the 7th universe. Speaking of which, the 7th universe is really lively, ha ha ha. Smile. You want to come too? Roger asked directly. Yeah, I also want to go around and see if I can comprehend something. Klut's voice was a little expectant. You should ask Wes about this kind of thing. He is the angel of the 7th universe. Is it useful to ask me? Roger replied with a smile. You're right, Krut replied, but if you're bored, you can go to the 11th universe to play and let's discuss that new universe together. Roger suddenly realized. It's for the new universe again. I'm bored right now, Roger replied. Krut. Look at my mood, it may be over in a while. After Roger finished speaking, he interrupted the call. Another apprentice angel for the new universe. You can grab it yourself. What are you looking for me for? Roger shook his head and glanced at Ruo-si. How about, go to the 11th universe to play? Roger suggested. HMPH, you want to fool me away and cheat quietly, right? Ruo-si glared at Roger and pouted, I'm not going. Whatever you want, then I'll go by myself. Roger smiled. Go. Ruo-si felt that Roger couldn't go to Universe 11. It doesn't make sense. Why go to the 11th universe so well? Besides, won't you stay and watch me? If I cheat, who are you going to talk to? Protect Bulma for me, Roger said and was about to leave. You asked me to be an angel as a bodyguard for a human being. Stop joking, I don't want it. Ruo-si shook her head vigorously. Last time you destroyed the galaxy, does the Grand Priest know about it? Roger smiled. Rose's face changed color. Don't tell my dad, can't I take care of Bulma for you? Ruo-si pouted and said angrily. Ruining the Milky Way, if the Great Priest finds out about this kind of thing, he will probably reprimand Ruo-si severely. Although a small galaxy is nothing to a Great Priest, but you destroy it because you can't control the power of angels, that's not good. However, are you really going to the 11th universe? Ruo-si asked. Let's go, Roger said, turned into a colorful flame, broke into the void, and disappeared in a flash. Hey, come back, change me back first, Ruo-si shouted from behind. However, Roger had already flown away. Ruosi jumped like thunder. Brother Weiss, did you hear that? Ruosi decided to ask Weiss for help. I heard. Ruosi, what's the matter? Weiss' voice came back quickly. Change me back. My true god domain is too low, there is no way to change it back. Ruosi said how distressed she was. If it's from a distance. I can't help it. You wait for me, I'll go right over. Weiss sighed, suddenly feeling very tired. 10 minutes later. Weiss appeared beside Ruosi. Huh. The flames on Weiss' scepter flickered and hit Ruosi. Immediately, Ruosi's body grew rapidly and returned to the image of a fairy. Huh, Ruosi sighed, it's still the way it is now. Ruosi, why not? Go to Beerus for a cup of tea first. Waiting here is not the way to go. Weiss suggested. Brother Weiss, did you say that Roger really went to Universe 11? Ruosi asked in confusion. He is indeed heading in the direction of the 11th universe. Weiss nodded. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 58 _ The Apprentice Angel of the 11th Universe, for the reward of 13,152,891,268. Why did he go to the 11th universe? Ruosi was a little puzzled. Perhaps, he wants to meet Krut. Didn't Krut contact him? Weiss guessed. Roger's real god realm has reached 199, and it is estimated that he wants to compare with Krut. Well, it's normal. After all, my father said at the time that only the highest angel in the realm of true gods can take over the new universe. According to the progress of Roger's realm of real gods, the first one should be steady. Although Weiss said this, he always had a bad feeling. I'm afraid Clute will be out of luck. That's the universe Dad prepared for me. Ruosi looked unhappy. Don't worry Ruosi, when we win this game, Roger will have nothing to say. Weiss smiled. Well, I'll listen to you, Brother Weiss. Ruosi nodded. Then let's go and come back in a few days. Weiss greeted. Hey. The two turned into a colorful flame, and soon disappeared. Weiss just left not long ago. Bulma opened the door. Roger, where have you been? Bulma whispered. Won't you go to the toilet again? Krillin guessed. Really, this Namek is so unsafe, running so far to go to the toilet. Bulma said angrily. Bulma, did you get in touch with Goku? How is he? Krillin asked. We have already contacted him. Wukong ate fairy beans and his injuries are all healed. He is already on his way and is expected to arrive at Namek in 5 days. Bulma smiled. Great, Wukong is coming. Kaylin was very surprised. Dad. Gohan looked into the distance, looking forward to his father's arrival. The vast starry sky. Roger's whole body bloomed with colorful flames, and flew quickly in the direction of the 11th universe. Roger had really planned to go to the 11th universe. But now that Clute has invited, let's take this opportunity to take a look. Roger's real god realm has reached 199. Perhaps it is also a very meaningful thing to fool Krut. Idle is also idle, at least Bulma and the others find Dragon Ball, it will take several days. Crack. Roger broke through the void and left the 7th universe. Huh. Roger plunged into the 11th universe. Roger let go of the induction, and easily sensed the breath of an angel in a distant location. 15 minutes later. A huge planet appeared below Roger. This is a planet with a high-tech level, and the level of technology is much higher than that of the Earth today. Oh, this is the Pride Planet. Roger was stunned for a moment, and looked at the planet silently. Just as Roger was looking at the planet, a figure flashed in front of him, and a person appeared directly opposite Roger. Who are you? What are you doing on our planet? The speaker was a man in red with 2 pointed ears and a white beard. Roger knew him as Topo. I didn't look for you, back off. Roger waved his hand. You're so loud, you told me to step back. Do you know who you're talking to? Topo was angry. Bang. Roger directly released a coercion. With a muffled sound, Topo slammed into the ground of Pride Planet like a cannonball. PFF'd. Topo's body fell deeply into the ground, leaving only one head. You say, who am I talking to? Roger looked at Topo with a smile. Topo. So powerful. Before I could take action, I was thrown into the ground. Who is this person? Ahem, Roger. At this moment, someone behind Roger coughed. Roger smiled and looked back. Although Roger had never met the apprentice angel Clute, he recognized him immediately. Because, Clute also has a unique angelic breath circulating. Of course, you can also hear it by listening to the voice. After all, I just made a phone call. Clute wears a pride outfit very similar to Topo, with blue skin and white hair. Typical angelic appearance. However, Clute looks a bit strange, especially his big nose, which takes up a large area of his face and looks a bit funny. Crut. Roger nodded slightly. Roger, you really just do what you say, it's coming so soon. Crut greeted kindly, go to my house first. This way, please. The two turned into two colorful flames and left the scene in a flash. Topo. I'm still buried in the ground. You let me out. Soon, Crut took Roger to his home on the Pride Planet. When I became an adult, I chose the proud planet of the 11th universe, and I have been practicing here. It can be regarded as half my home. Clute said, the clothes on his body were also transformed into the unique costumes of angels. At the same time, a halo appeared on Clute's head. The scepter in his hand was clenched tightly by Clute. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 59 _ The power of the angel exploded, adding more to the reward of 15,102,414,209. Roger nodded. If you have something to say it directly. Haha, Roger is really refreshing. Clute smiled, then I'll say it straight. I'm 30 years older than you, and I have 30 years more experience than you, and my current realm of true gods has reached 199. Which is very close to 200. In addition, Sabe's real god field is also 199. He is similar to me, and the two of us have been secretly competing to see who can improve the real god field as soon as possible. Roger nodded with a smile, squinting to the rear. Since you're here, is it interesting to hide it? Sabe. Roger smiled. After the voice fell, another angel came out from behind. Sabe is a chubby intern angel with a parted hair, white hair and pale blue skin. As expected of Roger, known as the most powerful angel, Sabe walked out with a smile, also in an angel outfit, holding a scepter and a halo on his head. Roger, let's say it straight. Yes, whether it's me or Clute who get the new universe, the two of us will never have any opinion. Sabe nodded. Sabe didn't say anything after that, but Roger understood the underlying meaning. That is, the new universe belongs to the two of them. If they get it by themselves, they will not be happy. So, I got a new universe, do you have any opinions? Roger looked at the two with a smile. Yes, we have opinions. Sabe nodded seriously. The great priest said that the ownership of the new universe belongs to the highest intern angel in the real god field. After 8 years, the 5 intern angels of our 5 intern angels, whoever has the highest true god field, will be the winner of the new universe. Clute took the words. Come on, facing Roger. Now, Roger, you have created a dark planet for the new universe and have taken the lead. What do you think should be done? Yes, Crut is right. Sabe echoed. You too, are you going to ask for guilt? Roger smiled coldly. Roger, there are only 2 of us, why talk about Xingxi? Clute smiled. Yes, what about Xingxi? Sabe nodded. However, for some things, I think it is more appropriate to use force. The corner of Clute's mouth evoked an arc. Yes, I also think it would be more convenient and simpler to solve the problem by force. After all, the text has no priority, and the military has no second. Sabe reconsidered. So, the 2 of you are going to join forces to challenge me. Roger sat in his seat without getting up. This. Crack. In Roger's hand, the scepter suddenly emerged, and a blue halo bloomed on his head. Wait. Clute's lips twitched. Boom. Roger wouldn't wait for them. There are two people on the other side. Since they decided to use force, shouldn't they be stronger first? Suddenly, the power of angels exploded around Roger, and the powerful power of angels turned Clute's room into dust at that time. Wait a minute, Roger. Crut was startled and hurriedly released the power of an angel to resist. Wait, Sabe exclaimed, and at the same time released the power of angels to resist. Boom. The angelic power of the three parties collided. Only a loud bang was heard. The entire planet of Pride, like soap bubbles, turned into cosmic dust on the spot. Crack. Immediately afterwards, with the Proud Planet as the center, the entire 11th universe, the major planets and galaxies, quickly turned into sand grains and collapsed. Clute's face became extremely ugly. Sadie's eyes widened. Bang. Roger flew and kicked Clute's chest. PFF'd. Crut spat out a mouthful of golden blood. Bang. Roger waved his scepter, and a scepter hit Sabe on the head. Sabe didn't spurt blood, but he felt dizzy for a while, and many small stars appeared in front of him. Huh. Roger pointed the scepter at Clute's head. Just the two of you want to join forces against me? Roger sneered. Cough cough. Crut's face was extremely ugly. He coughed, looked at the already destroyed 11th universe, and the gradually spreading chaos, shook his head and smiled bitterly. Roger, you misunderstood me. I mean. Yes, you misunderstood us, Roger. Sabe shook his head and hurriedly answered. A lot of things. Violence can't solve the problem. Crut explained. I and Sabe didn't mean to challenge you. Yes, we don't mean to challenge you. Besides, you are the heir of the Archangel, and your strength is extraordinary. Let alone our two apprentice angels, even if they are official angels, they may not be your opponent. Sabe replied. Just now, who said that the problem should be solved by force? Roger smiled. You really misunderstood us, Roger. Crut covered his forehead and sighed. What we mean is, we can pick one of the most powerful warriors of mankind from our respective universes and let them pass the form of force fight. P.S. It seems that the rewards and updates have been added. Readers and friends who have not added them can leave a message in the comment area. You are a genius, remember in a second. Chapter 60 _Quanwang. Where did the 11th universe go? Yes, that's what I mean too. Sabe wiped his sweat and nodded vigorously. Roger's eyes narrowed slightly, a look of doubt on his face. You can't beat it, and now you say you are looking for humans to fight. I believe your wickedness, okay. Roger, we are angels. As long as the angels don't fight with all their strength, they will have eternal life. You said that we don't have to fight with ourselves, right? We challenge you directly, is that necessary? Clute explained again. Yes, there is really no need to fight directly between us angels, why bother? Sabe nodded in agreement. Roger's expression softened a little, and he motioned for the two to continue. At this time, Roger was surrounded by slowly flowing chaos. The universe disappeared and returned to chaos. Roger, what Sabe and I mean, pick a human warrior from our two universes, you pick a human warrior from your universe, fight each other, and the winning side has the ownership of the new universe right. Clute strikes while the iron is hot. Of course, the current overall level of Nien in the 7th universe is still relatively low. We can wait, after all, the new universe will still have 8 years to stabilize. At that time, I will choose a human from our universe. You also choose a human. 8 years later, how about a contest? Yes, Roger, you can also train this person from the 7th universe. Sabe added. What are you going to do if you lose? Roger asked. If we lose, we will naturally withdraw from the ownership of the new universe. Clute responded. Yes, I quit too. Sabe nodded. No, not enough. Roger shook his head. What do you mean? Crut wondered. The new universe is originally mine. If you win, you are entitled to the ownership of the new universe. Roger waved his finger lightly. If you lose, you must come up with the equivalent. Yes, Roger is right. Sabe nodded. Clute stared. Which side are you from? I heard that the core of the 11th universe is a ruby. Roger thought thoughtfully. Clute's heart sank, and his face changed color. Give me the ruby, and I'll play with you, Roger said seriously. Crut. Sabe. What, do you have an opinion? Roger asked. Cough cough. The core of the 11th universe is a ruby, but this ruby is now inlaid on the delicious nose. Clute's head froze. Roger, are you making me take my delicious nose off as a bet? For an angel, this is not a big problem, the question is whether you are willing to do it. Roger said lightly, besides, aren't you determined to win? You may not lose. I just went to get the core, and if you win, you don't need it. Quote. Crut was lost in thought. It seems that what Roger said makes sense. Yes, then it's settled. Sabe nodded in agreement. What's good? You don't have a backache when you stand talking. Where is your 8th universe? Crut glanced at Sabe and asked Roger. Aren't you playing alone? One bet, 2 people need 2 bets. Roger smiled. That's right, there is only one person to fight, and the one who fights is also the human beings in the 11th universe. Our human beings in the 8th universe do not participate in the battle. Sabe quickly cleared himself. Sabe chose the 8th universe for an internship. The cosmic core of the 8th universe is a 9-tailed fox, which is now sealed in the tail of Ligil, the god of destruction. The god of destruction, Ligil, has 2 tails, one of which seals the core of the 8th universe. Sabe also doesn't know which tail of Ligier the core of the universe is sealed in. If this is really lost, one tail will be pulled out. If not, do I have to pull out the other tail? The dignified god of cosmic destruction has no tail. Sabe suddenly felt that there was a good sense of picture. The 11th universe god of destruction is so delicious that if it doesn't have a nose. It seems that carrots can also be substituted. Crut suddenly discovered that Sabe is so cunning. This kid said, not bad, all day long, but in fact he was crumbling and crumbling. The 11th universe, destroying the god realm. The god of destruction Yummy and the angel Margarita looked at the disappearing universe with bewildered expressions on their faces. The two looked at each other. What happened? Is Lord Quanwang coming to wipe out the universe? Wei Maida's face turned pale for a moment. Makurita, I'm about to disappear, help me take care of my beauties. Quote. Go away. Makurita gave Yume a roll of eyes. Temple of All Kings. Universe 11 disappeared. What's the situation? King Quan was also a little dumbfounded. You are a genius, remember in a second.